Okay, I'm gonna give you guys my honest opinion about this Dragon Ball Z versus the Bleach. Now, a lot of people's been wondering in their minds who would actually win if the Bleach and Dragon Ball Z would to ever go to war. And I'm just gonna give you guys my opinion about it, on who would have the upper advantage. Now, I am both Dragon Ball Z and Bleach fan. Well, I gotta say, Bleach is like one of my second favorite anime. Uh, it's been going through a lot of people's minds on who would have the upper advantage and who would own who. Would Dragon Ball Z actually dominate Bleach, or would Bleach dominate Dragon Ball Z? Now, I've watched the Bleach. I basically watched the Bleach fights and everything like that. And a lot of Dragon Ball Z fans out there don't seem to realize this, that Dragon Ball Z fighters are dealing with Soul Reapers. You know, let's start with Ichigo and the Soul Reapers. Ichigo is a substitute Soul Reaper, okay? Soul Reapers are guardians of souls. They basically kill hollows. Any evil hollows that try to come into the world of the living, the Soul Reapers actually kill the hollows. That's what they do. That's the Soul Reaper's job. What a lot of Dragon Ball Z fans out there don't seem to understand, and I'm not trying to call any of you guys any retards. I'm not trying to insult nobody in this, but I'm just trying to come up with some good points about this. What a lot of Dragon Ball Z fans out there don't seem to realize is all Soul Reapers are invisible to those without spiritual powers. So if you don't have spiritual powers, you're not going to be able to see the Soul Reapers. And I've never really once heard any of Dragon Ball Z characters ever seeing or sensing any spiritual power. So, yeah, this right here, I would have to say that this right here is a sort of kind of a huge advantage. So basically, if the Soul Reapers are in the living world, nobody's able to see them, not even human beings. No human can see the Soul Reapers. So if you don't have any spiritual powers, then you're not going to be able to see any Soul Reapers. And I don't know any Dragon Ball Z character out there that can actually see any Soul Reapers. They don't have any spiritual powers. I never once hear any Dragon Ball Z, whether they was a good guy or a bad guy. I've never once heard them say, "Hey, I sense a spiritual power." I never hear not one Dragon Ball Z fighter ever saying that. All I hear them saying that, "Oh, I sense how strong they are. I sense how powerful their Kais are, and all that stuff like that." I mean, honestly, I don't care how much training some of the Dragon Ball Z fighter does. It's not going to make them be able to see spirits. I mean, Piccolo, Gohan, Frieza, Cell, whoever, they can do all the training all they want to. It's not going to make them be able to see Soul Reapers. So Soul Reapers have a sort of kind of a huge advantage over the Dragon Ball Z characters. Because if the Soul Reapers are in the living world, if they really wanted to, they can go out there and wipe out the world of the living if they really wanted to, because nobody can see them. So if Goku and Vegeta, none of the Dragon Ball Z characters can't see or sense any spiritual powers in the world of living, this is an easy advantage. All Ichigo gotta do is leave his human body and transform into his Soul Reaper body. Go into his Soul Reaper body and actually assault Goku, and Goku won't even know it. He can just cut Goku's head off, and Goku probably won't even know it. Especially if he can't sense Ichigo's presence or his spiritual power. Ichigo can just walk right up and just cut Goku's head off if he really wanted to, and bam. So the Bleach sort of kind of have a much a better advantage of standing a chance against the Dragon Ball Z character. Do the Bleach stand a chance against Dragon Ball Z characters? Well, in my opinion, yes, they do. Because without spiritual powers, you're fucked if you can't see the Soul Reapers. You're fucked if you don't have spiritual powers. Now, since that Goku is a god, maybe he's able to sense spiritual powers yet. I don't know. If they wanted to, they could add it on there of having Goku sensing spiritual powers, but they could if they wanted to, since now that he's a god. But I know some of you guys are going to be saying, well, Kid Buu went to the other worlds with Krillin and Yamcha, because you remember when Krillin and Yamcha was dead, Kid Buu traveled to the other world. He was able to see dead spirits over there, in the world of the undead. So I don't know. It's really kind of tough to say though, because you had Kid Buu went to the other worlds and he was able to see him. So the chances of Goku and them probably seeing spiritual powers, I say might. They might be able to see it. Because I don't know, in Dragon Ball Z world, if you come back from the dead, everybody can see you in Dragon Ball Z. But in the Bleach world, you know, if you're dead, nobody can see you. Especially if you're like a spirit, nobody can see you unless you have spiritual powers in the Bleach world. So their universe is just completely different.